What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Wednesday night or Thursday morning. And to my Thursday morningers, congratulations. We are 1 day away, or y'all are 1 day away from the weekend. Tomorrow morning when I wake up, I will be 1 day away. Y'all know that I'm in New York City presently right now covering the Diddy trial. I am on Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, I have a great show set up for you guys today. I have two lead stories. We're going to kick it off by talking about Kim Kardashian, Mayor Karen Bass, and Vic Mensa talking about the LA ICE raids. And also, as you know, as we've been doing daily, we're going to give you a full recap of the Diddy trial, day 21. The highlight of the day is that Diddy's defense team accuses the government, the federal government, of trying to get rid of a black juror. Trust me, stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that. Well, you're not going to want to miss the entire show, eh? All right? It's a great show. In quick news, we're going to talk Nicki Manaj, Jeezy, Young Miami, ChatGPT, Cory Booker, Mariah Carey, Deion Sanders, Ariel, Atkins, Angel Reese, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Shannon, Sharpe, Jeezy, Ananda Lewis, New York City, and lab-grown salmon gets approved by FDA. I told you all it's a good show. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Our first lead story. Kim Kardashian speaks out on the ICE raids in Los Angeles following a recent protest, or the recent protest. Kim Kardashian put this out. She says, when you're told that ICE exists to keep our country safe and remove violent criminals, great. But when we witness innocent, hardworking people being ripped from their families in inhumane ways, we have to speak up. We have to do what's right. Growing up in LA, I've seen how deeply immigrants are woven into the fabric of this city. They are our neighbors, friends, classmates, coworkers, and family. No matter where you fall politically, it's clear that our communities thrive because of the contribution of immigrants. We cannot turn a blind eye when fear and injustice keeps people from living their lives freely and safely. There has to be a better way. That was from Kim Kardashian. I'm wondering what took Kim so late, to be completely honest with you. I know Kim has some ties to Donald Trump and the Trump Foundation. I know she leans on them when she does her criminal justice stuff, and she has gotten people pardoned and she makes recommendations. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't understand how difficult it is to navigate through friendships and through contacts. It's very easy for me to sit down in this chair, or for you at home or wherever you are, to say, you know, it doesn't matter and do what's right and you have to do it right away. I understand that, and I am dragging her a little bit for that. But I personally think Wednesday is a little too long. Like I said, I understand relationships, but Kim is a big, big voice, and a lot of her backing are Black minority immigrants, and I just think this should have been done a little bit quicker. But I understand the difficulties. I guess we should more concentrate that she is putting her voice behind it. So shout out to Kim. That was my long-winded way of saying shout out to Kim, but I just had to throw that in there. Needed that to be a little quicker, Kim. Now let's move over to Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. She announced an 8 p.m. curfew amid the downtown protesting. Mayor Karen Bass has announced a curfew at 8 p.m. following nearly a week of protest and looting in Los Angeles. The curfew will be enforced from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. It will cover the area of downtown Los Angeles to the 5th freeway, including the section between the 110 freeway and the 10 freeway, as well as the areas where the 110 freeway migrates to the 5 freeway. That's a lot of 110s and 10s and 5s. But if you're from LA, you know what it is. Shout out to all my people in LA. According to Mayor Bass, sorry about that, guys. According to Mayor Bass, the curfew could last for several days. LA law enforcement has stated if you are within the curfew during the restricted hours without a legal exemption, you will be arrested. All right. As you guys know, I'm in New York covering the Diddy trial. My head has been in that case from, I'm waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in court the whole day. I'm not allowed to have my phone or any electronics with me. So my knowledge of what's going on in LA is not as vast as it would have been if I wasn't in New York covering this trial. However, I am still doing my due diligence and keeping up with this. I know there has been some people that are not overly excited about this curfew, but a curfew allows for the police to get the, I want to say this carefully, to be able to police the situation more accordingly. Now, I understand that there is going to be some people that are abusing their authority and taking advantage of the situation. That is, of course, bad, and we're not condoning that. But from what I know, and like I said, I will put a little bit of an asterisk. I'm not able to be calling all my contacts and doing all of my stuff to really get very detailed information. But from what I know now, I do stand with Mayor Bass on this. Please let me know if I'm missing anything. Let me know in the comment section if you guys don't think this is a good idea. But we do need to de-escalate the situation and bring LA back to its normalcy. Just a couple of months ago, LA kicked off 2025 with the fires, and now this. It's like LA is going through a lot. Like I said, fill me in the comment section below if you think there's anything to add to that. But shout out to the mayor and everybody who is trying to just get a handle on this very unfortunate situation. All right, next is Vic Mensa explains how ICE raids impact Black people. The same oppressor that exploits the African do the same to Latinos. Vic Mensa with a quick PSA on why Black people should be concerned about the current ICE raids in Los Angeles. Since last week, protesters have been filling the streets of Los Angeles in response to the immigration raids throughout the city. Here is Vic. Take a listen.
Same oppressor that exploits the African abuses the Latino. And please believe if they could figure out how to deport they've been trying since the Emancipation Proclamation. The same enemy has used these same methods to divide, devalue, and destroy. Common enemy, common goal.
I 100% stand behind this message. For my daily listeners, you know that I am a big supporter of DEI, although, yes, I do think that there needs to be a little bit more work to kind of flush out and make sure that it's done. Why am I bringing up DEI in a situation like this? Because the same people that DEI helps is the same thing that Vic is talking about here. Anybody, any race, any gender that has been discriminated against, we should all come together and unite against the people who are discriminating against us. Women have been marginalized, paid less, discriminated against, been told they were less than, told they cannot vote for centuries. And they're fighting their fight. The same way how Black people have fought their fight, and other minorities, brown people, any minorities. DEI also includes people with disabilities. So when oppressors find a way to oppress or do something to one of those groups, I feel like all groups should come together in a fight for justice and for equality. Because like Vic was saying, this week it's this group of people, next week it's that group of people. But if we all stand together and we unite, we will win and overcome. And hopefully one day, maybe if we're lucky in our lifetime, where everybody is treated equal. I know some of you are going to say in the comment section, that's never going to happen. But if we would have said that hundreds of years ago, the Black people wouldn't have made the progress we have made. Minorities wouldn't have made the progress they have made. Women would not have made the progress they have made. So we cannot have that type of mentality. The goal must be for equality and for everybody to be treated equal. And whatever means or however long it takes to get there, that is the fight that we should be fighting. So I stand behind Kim's message, Mayor Karen Bass, and Vic Mensa. I wish I could put more into this, but like I said, I'm in New York. I literally feel like I need to go out to LA and cover this out there and do what I can and lend my voice and my platform. So shout out to everybody in LA. Y'all know, my daily listeners, I spent a lot of time in LA. My family owned reggae nightclubs out there. My 6 cousins grew up out there. I lived out there as a teenager for a little while. So LA has a little space in my heart, So shout out to LA and everybody who is fighting the fight. Do it peacefully and do it properly. That's the one thing I will say. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to our second lead story. All right, here is your daily Diddy recap. For those who don't know, I have been saying it, but maybe you've missed a couple of episodes. I am in New York City in the courtroom with Diddy, with the prosecution, with Diddy's mom and his sons, literally right there covering from morning to night. I am giving you guys 3 news breaks throughout the day. One in the morning before court starts and at lunch and after court. I am going live on YouTube. If you want to catch the day by day over there, or the play by play better, check over there. Go to YouTube, go to the live section. It is there 3 times throughout the day. On the actual podcast, on the actual Trent Out Loud podcast, the show, I'll be doing a summary at the end of the day and just giving you the highlights. But for all the details and the play-by-play, and it is good, trust me, go over to live on YouTube. Now, yesterday, I said I was going to give you guys a summary. By the time I was done and put it up, literally that segment, it was like 25 minutes. I am not going to do that today, okay? I'm really going to go quick. Y'all know me when I get into things. I like to chat a lot, but I'm trying to keep these shows short because you guys have a lot of content to watch and follow up with all the lives we're doing and this, okay? So the big takeaway from the day for me was before court even started. Before court starts with the testimony and the jurors and stuff, they do kind of like housekeeping. They have been back and forth for the past couple of days on juror number 6. The prosecution wants juror number 6 stricken. We don't know why, and we do not know who juror number 6 is. Today, the judge told the defense, you guys have 24 hours to give me your rebuttal on why we should keep juror number 6. So he hasn't told us, the prosecution, the government's reason for wanting to strike juror number 6. We don't have any information. But the defense came up today and gave us a little inkling. And to me, it was the biggest takeaway from the day. The defense says the prosecution has no substance, no valid reason for getting rid of juror number 6. And they said this will be another failed effort to strike another black juror. Now, during jury selection, Diddy's defense team put the court on notice when they were dwindling down the jurors that the prosecution was trying to get rid of as many black jurors as possible. We talked about that on the podcast. If you guys remember, it was 700, then it whittled down to like 150 and then 75, around 75 or 50. And then when it's 75 or 50, the prosecution gets, I think, 6 strikes where you don't have to give a reason. You just get rid of a person. And the defense, I think, has 10. Even though you don't have to give a reason, it cannot show up where it's prejudicial. Like if all your 6 are going towards women, then the defense can be like, hey, they're trying to get rid of women. It could be for whatever reason, but it can't be prejudicial. During that time, Diddy's defense team was like, they're getting rid of all the black people. They said, hey, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're black people. It has to do with the fact that whatever, one of them was not English. They didn't understand English language. The other person has known too much about Diddy, so they made an excuse. The fact that the trial has started and now they're bringing up with a problem, the defense team finds it very ironic that the person that they have a problem with just so happens to be black. Now, out of the 12 jurors and 6 alternates that I am able to count, there is for sure 5 black jurors. And sometimes when somebody is mixed or somebody could be Latina or Indian or whatever, and I'm not too sure their exact race. So for sure there are 5 black people. I think maybe 6 or 7. Also, to touch on this quickly, I told you guys, I think last week, where the judge reprimanded Diddy for looking at the jurors and nodding his head during a testimony from Nicole Westmoreland. I don't know if you guys remember that. A couple of people are thinking that the prosecution thinks that Diddy is looking at a specific person and shaking his head. I went back and I looked at that podcast and I went back and I read the article. He was never accused of looking at one person, even the prosecution saying that he was looking in the whole general area. So I don't think that's what it is. However, I do think that the prosecution, for whatever reason, got some tip off or something that juror is probably maybe in Diddy's back pocket. Maybe there's something that Diddy is working on, and something happened that is stoking some fear and they want them stricken. We'll find out more tomorrow. I doubt they're going to come out and say that it is for like one of those reasons of like what I told you, we're like in Diddy's back pocket, or did they feel like Diddy's up to something? Now they're probably just going to make an excuse. Who knows? However, we'll find out more tomorrow, but I find it very ironic that it is another black juror that they're trying to get off. If you guys want to know more about my thoughts about the people on the jury, especially one black lady that is on the jury, she ain't playing no games. And, you know, she is, I think from my guess, is really favoring Diddy's lawyer, Tenny Garagos. Really, really good insight on that, if I do say so myself. All right, let me check the time. Okay, I'm going to try to do this very quickly, like 5-10 minutes max. All right, so Jane testimony resumed today. They were really just talking about text messages between her and SCX workers, talking about text messages between her and Diddy. And basically, yesterday, I told you guys I thought Diddy's defense team was using their cross-examination of Jane to testify for Diddy, humanize him, make us feel bad for him. We found out that he was addicted to DRUG. We found out that he is dealing with demons, that he's going through a war in his mind. And Jane said that she doesn't think he'll be able to deal with that, but she knows that deal with that on his own. But she's loving and she's caring. And whenever they have these hotel nights, these freak off nights, it really puts him at ease. And she feels like he's able to deal with the dark side of himself, which I thought was amazing of Diddy's defense team, because like I said, you always just want to put some reasonable doubt in the juror's mind. And if you can get one juror or a couple of jurors to not think, yo, this is not a man who is SCX trafficking under force, fraud, and coercion. This is a deeply disturbed man that definitely has, mental health issues for sure, definitely has committed a bunch of crimes, but I do not see SCX trafficking under force, fraud, or coercion. That is what the defense is trying to do, and they did a masterful job of doing it yesterday. Today, they focused more on Jane's testimony and poking some holes in it, and I think also did a good job. Like I said, they talked about her birthday. They said on her birthday, you were doing a hotel night. For those who haven't been following daily, hotel nights are Jane's way of calling them freak offs. Cassie called them freak offs. Jane called them hotel nights. She was talking to one of the SCX workers and she says, hey, are you in town tonight? It's my birthday. She was doing this without Diddy asking her. More reason to think that it's not force, fraud, or coercion. She asked one of the SCX workers to send her a little video. Y'all know what that video means. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the dates. It's a lot of pages here. It was Valentine's Day night. Jane wanted to set up a romantic night. She wanted to include 2 workers. Then they go detailing by date, April 13th. They wanted to show that they had a hotel night for Valentine's Day, but April 13th, there was a text message that said, hey, we haven't had a hotel night in 2 months. They showed proof that all the way till the end of June, there was no hotel nights. Sorry about that. My camera just went out for a second. Yeah, so all the way till June, there was no hotel nights. The prosecution is trying to make this seem like this is XCS trafficking under force, fraud, and coercion. Well, really, from April all the way till June, there was no hotel night. So that makes it a harder case to prove, okay? They go on to speak about, I think it was sometime in May where they were talking about, hey, you want to have a hotel night? She's like, no, I would rather have a movie night. He's like, cool, let's sit down and be romantic and be at home. They go all the way till July where there's text messages back and forth saying, hey, you know what? July is coming up, July 4th. You want to do something? Yeah, it's been 3 months that we haven't had a hotel night. Cool. Do you want to be with Paul or you want to be with the Italian? Jane hearts Paul. We told you guys yesterday she loves being with Paul. She said Paul is one of her best SCS experiences ever of all times, SCX worker or not. They have a short meeting. Sorry, they have a short talk about it. She goes out, okay, cool. I'm gonna go get you guys matching shorts, heels, and she goes and gets some pills. It was really funny. You should check out the on the live. I really go into the fact of her buying the matching shorts. It's really a funny story. Check it out on the live. There's text messages the next day saying, hey, last night was amazing, really cool. I can't wait to go out to dinner. No hotel nights again. July the 27th. By the way, this is 2022. Jane sends a text message over to Diddy saying, hey, Diddy, well, she calls him Sean. Hey, what's up? What's going on? You want to do something later? Diddy's like, yo, I'm with Paul right now. We find out that Paul is one of Diddy's trainers. She's like, cool. You and Paul come on over. Again, does that sound like force, fraud, and coercion? And again, I'm not saying that it is. I'm just trying to tell you the prosecution is now, it's their turn to keep bringing up examples to show how it's going to be very hard for a jury to convict this under force, fraud, and coercion. Okay. They keep on going on. They bring up other text messages from August the 29th, 2022, again with Paul. And then after the night with Paul, Jane says, I love you so much. Thank you. Last night was such a blessing. The September 2022, they're on a private jet. They go to Vegas with one of her friends. Let's see here. Again, like I said, sorry, I'm skipping through it, but I go into much more detail on the live. Check that out. They skip over now to, well, I'm going to skip over to 2023. Jane sees Diddy online in Instagram with Young Miami, the rapper, and his other girlfriend. And she's like, yo, I know that you're with other girls, but I hate seeing it. And you took Young Miami to Turks and Caicos. You know, that's my favorite place. They get into a big argument. And Jane is like, yo, I want to go out for my birthday with my friends. You're out with Young Miami. And it just so happens that Jane and Young Miami have a birthday around the same time. So the same kind of thing happened in 2022, and it was a big deal. And now that he did it again this year and chose Young Miami, she freaked out. And she's like, listen, send me some money. I'm going to go out with my friends. Diddy sent her $15,000 for a dinner and an outfit for the night. Imagine calling up her boyfriend and being like, yo, send me 15 G's. Anyways, so it keeps on going on. And that was really what today was really about trying to show text messages, which is direct evidence of the mind state that she was in 2022 and 2023. There's fights between them going back and forth. And it's the same thing. They would get together. They would have a freak off. It would be good. It would be good for a couple of months. She would see Diddy online with another girl. She would freak out. They would break up and they would get back together with each other. Here, what's this one here about? Here, Diddy bought her a Van Cleef necklace. And told her, you know what? Sorry that I took Young Miami. I know that was your dream vacation. I will take you to Turks and Caicos. They decided to go to Turks and Caicos on their own. I think I'm skipping something here, but anyways, that's just being very quick. February 2023. Oh, here, this is something interesting. There was a time where things were going super well, and she sent him a text message saying, thank you so much for celebrating whatever this was with me. And she was with 3 guys that one night. And then she sees something online again. And just 2 days later, she's like, forget about me being happy. Now I'm unhappy. That was really not a good experience. And the defense made a good point of like, hey, you know what? The prosecution is trying to make it seem like you were SCX trafficked, but the only time that you say you don't like things is only after Diddy does something wrong. When Diddy is fine, when he's buying you gifts or when he's taking you to Turks and Caicos, he's the most amazing man ever. But we are showing you guys proof here that every time there's text messages with Diddy and another girl, that's when things are bad and you don't want to do freak offs. The prosecution is trying to make it seem as if you never want to do freak offs, period. But it only seems, when you're feeling jealous. And that was really today's back and forth. Diddy ultimately did take her to Turks and Caicos, whatever. He spent $100,000 on the trip, etc. Just back and forth. Then they go through a good 6 months without having any hotel nights. Then we fast forward to 2016. Where again she hears Young Miami and Diddy on a podcast saying, man, we were on a boat for 48 hours and we were going at it like nonstop for 2 days. And she was like, yo, you lied to me. You told me that you were going with her because you guys have a work relationship, and you told me nothing was what happened. You slept all night, but then you go on a podcast and talk about your extravaganza. Like, that's the one thing I don't understand about Diddy. Like, I understand the normal guy like lying to his girlfriend if she's never going to find out. But how do you have the audacity to lie to your girlfriend and then go on a podcast that you know is going to be blasted everywhere on social media and say the exact opposite that you told her? You get what I'm saying? Like, what sense does that make? Just be honest. I mean, I'm honest and my stuff is not over out on social media, but you could guarantee that I would be doubly as honest if I knew that I was going to be out on social media blasting what I'm doing a young man. Anyways, that's Diddy's narcissistic and arrogant ways. He thinks he could just get away with everything, right? Anyways, I'm going to sum it up. Like I said, I don't want to take too long with this. Go and check out the live. It is really, really good. It really breaks down their 2-year back and forth relationship. The day ended off. There's still going to be a little bit more cross-examination. The day ended off with the end of October being really good, but then she finds out about Cassie's lawsuit. And we told you during the line of testimony with the prosecution, that is when she finds out Diddy was doing the same hotel nights with Cassie. Cassie called them freak off nights. One of the reasons why Jane didn't mind doing it is that she felt special. She felt like this was something that he only did with her. That's what he told her. When Cassie's case came out and she found out, yo, you've been doing this? You've been doing this with another girl? There's 3 pages out of Cassie's lawsuit that says, this is verbatim. You could take out Cassie's name and put mine in there. And that's when things went left for their relationship. So we'll find out more tomorrow when the cross-examination continues. After Jane left the stand and the jury was let go for the day, they did do some housekeeping. The defense said they'll be done with the prosecution of Jane by tomorrow. The prosecution says they're going to put up 2 more people and then a summary witness tomorrow. The judge asked the prosecution when they will be done and when they will rest their case. They said if everything runs smoothly, they should be done by next Wednesday, which is 1 week from today. Prosecution will be done in 1 week. Latest, they said next Friday. Then the judge asked the defense, hey, now that the prosecution has cut a little bit of their witnesses, do you think you can cut a little bit of your time? Remember, it was supposed to be 6 weeks for the prosecution, 2 weeks for the defense. The defense says, depending on who the prosecution cuts, we will be able to cut some of our time. But until we know, we can't give you a definite answer. We are going to stick to our 2-week schedule. If everything goes according to schedule and they end next week, Friday, let's say they don't cut and the prosecution doesn't go quicker, they'll end Friday. The defense still says they need 2 weeks, which brings us to July the 4th. I know there's a lot of you out there who don't necessarily care about the nuts and bolts of this and the day-to-day, and you just want to know, is he going to jail or not? Is he going to be found guilty? The soonest that this case will come to an end and it will be in the hands of the jury is around July the 1st, earliest. And from what they're saying for now, is everything goes as planned, the latest it will be done will be July 4th. It will be done before July 4th weekend. Then the jury gets to deliberate, and then we'll get a verdict sometime the week after. So that is your daily update. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I really didn't get in the nuts and bolts of the day. It was just a quick summary. Please go over to our YouTube page, click on that live button, and get the full breakdown. It was a great, great day. The defense did a great job. Jane did a great job. There's something that we talk about, again, where a juror was back and forth looking at Jane and Tenny Garagos, who is Diddy's lawyer. And this juror had so much expression on her face. A lot of jurors, like, you can't read whose side they're on. And it's pretty much an unbeknownst rule of like, listen, people are in here watching you. The lawyers are watching you. Don't really have emotion on your face. There was this one juror that had so much emotion. Anyways, I'll tell you about it. It was a good tell. So go over to our YouTube channel live, check out the full breakdown of the day. Let me know what you think about the Diddy trial and everything that's going on in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news, but now since I'm on location, we're doing speed news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story, Nicki Manaj fires off at Jay-Z and Rock Nation for not picking Lil Wayne for the Super Bowl. Really, Nicki? Like, could we be done with this? We talked about that all in 2024, the ending of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Why is Nicki taking shots now? I can't play the song for copyright reasons, but hold on, let me listen to the line and I'll tell you 1 second. NFL should fire some N-words named Carter. Nicki, it's in the past. Kendrick had a great Super Bowl halftime show. He's breaking records. They made a choice. Let's move on. Our second quick story. Young Miami responds after fans criticize her BET Award outfits by saying she's missing that Diddy money. All right, here is a picture of Young Miami. Listen, y'all know I'm a big Young Miami fan. I love her. I will admit, though, the hair is definitely not hairing. People pointed out, I didn't even notice this. If you look carefully, like the shoes, the toes are kind of hanging off. The dress does look a little bit like not on the level that we would be expecting for Young Miami. Somebody wrote and said, you could tell Young Miami is missing that Diddy money, toes hanging off her shoes. Oh, it's here where they said about the toes. Toes hanging off her shoes, wig giving beauty supply, and dress is giving 1999 prom. Anyways, Young Miami responded and said, y'all don't like when I clap back, so leave me alone. I'll be trending for days once I finish laying y'all out. When somebody doesn't clap back and they say, oh, y'all better be careful, I'm going to clap back now, that means they really have nothing to say. So I'm on the fan side on this one, Young Miami. But hey, it's tough out here when you lose somebody that was paying you close to $100,000 a month. Of course, your outfits are going to change. He's locked up, man. He can't be paying her that kind of money. We already found out 2 days ago that he's still paying Jane's house, lawyer, therapist, and everything, yo. Anyways, shout out to Young Miami. Our third quick story. ChatGPT is back online after a 10-hour outage that leaves users in panic. ChatGPT went down for over 10 hours and left users around the world unable to access the AI chatbot. The issue affected both free and paid tiers and even disrupted OpenAI's image generator. All right. One thing that I want to flag here, if AI is supposed to be taking over the world and it could go down for 10 days, if it could go down for 10 hours, isn't that a little scary? I'm just saying. I know it's technology and I know it's not perfect, but it makes me a little bit worried. What's really going on and how come it went down for the 10 hours? I'm just saying. Anyways, for my ChatGPT users, just letting you know if you heard about this, it's back up. You can use the app. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our fourth quick story. Cory Booker reveals that he once was set up on a blind date with Mariah Carey. He says, don't deny me, Mariah. Cory Booker says he was once put on a blind date with Miami. I'm thinking about Young Miami. Mariah Carey. Y'all believe him or not? The Jersey senator stepped in and spilled some tea on an all-new episode of Stepping Into the Shade Room. I don't think Cory Booker is gonna lie. I just more want to know who was hooking up Cory Booker and Mariah Carey. And I love Cory Booker, but him and Mariah Carey, that is an odd couple. That really makes no sense if you really know Mariah and you know Cory Booker. But I would love to know more details. I haven't had time to check it out, but if any of you have heard the interview, please let me know. And has Mariah Carey confirmed this or not? Our fifth quick story. All right, I did not report this yesterday, so I'm going to report it now and then do the follow-up. Deion Sanders reportedly dealing with unspecified illness. Today, he came out and says, wow, I'm truly blessed for the abundance of well wishes, for all the thoughts and all the prayers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can assure you that everything is okay and will continue to be so. God got me like no other. I have so much more work to do. Glorify God. So please believe God got me. Doesn't really give details on exactly what is happening. I kind of have some sort of a little bit of a speculation, but I don't want to say anything yet until I hear back. I actually sent somebody a text about this, but I feel like they're not telling us everything. I do hope Deion is good. I hope he is well, and it is definitely nothing serious. But when I found some more information on this, I will. Deion Sanders, keep your head up. Our sixth quick story. Ariel Atkins defends her teammate Angel Reese after she's asked about the criticism she faces online. Okay, I want to throw this in here, not just because I'm a big Angel Reese fan, but yesterday I told you about my other amazing female athlete who I love, Clarissa Shields, the undisputed heavyweight female champion of the world. Love her. She took a couple of shots at Angel Reese, and I was like, yo, I wonder if Angel's going to say anything. She hasn't said anything today, and I feel like Angel is kind of like not taking the high ground, but she's not really like taking people's bait anymore, and I want to applaud her for that. Ariel Atkins comes to her teammates Angel Reese's defense Tuesday as they are asked questions from the media following their loss with the New York Liberty. Angel was asked about the criticism she faces online, and Ariel gave Angel her flowers while asking the reporters to keep the questions basketball related. Love this. Teammates looking out for other teammates. Ariel says, this is a 23-year-old who handles herself with grace. Her crown is heavy. Ariel Atkins and Angel Reese were in the press room for Media Day on Tuesday. So shout out to Ariel. Love that you're looking out for our girl, Angel Reese. And media, stop badgering the queen of basketball. Well, she's not the queen of basketball. Whoa. The princess of basketball. All right. Shout out to Angel Reese. Our seventh quick story. Elon Musk with a very, very interesting tweet. I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far. It seems like Elon Musk might be having some second thoughts about his recent comments about Donald Trump. Last week, Musk accused the president of being connected to the Epstein files and took shots at the big, beautiful bill. Now, remember when we talked about this? I actually even put this in breaking news. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk went kind of like back and forth. And I told you guys, and I was like, I don't know how much I really believe this back and forth. I feel like this is orchestrated to get Elon's people that used to support him, that didn't like what he did with Doge, back in Elon Musk's fold. So I thought, hey, Trump, let me say some bad things about you and get people back on my side. But then we told you the next day that he lost $34 billion and Tesla's stock crashed because people are like, yo, we didn't like you with Doge, but that doesn't mean you should go be dissing Donald Trump because he's going to take away all of these your contracts and you're going to lose even more money. So the stock market was even worse for him, which is even more reason now why he's coming back and apologizing. And he cannot keep up with the public. He feels like he has to change and not be himself and follow what the public thinks. It's 2025. The public wants you to stand for who you are, not for you trying to be and cater to who the public is. I know it sounds weird, but that may have worked in 20 or 30 years ago. Like they'll create an uproar and they're like, oh, finally he listened to us. It's not like that anymore, man. You need to be true and need to be authentic, or you're just going to lose the people. You can't just be running after everything they say. I don't know what Elon Musk is going to do after this. I'm not necessarily worried. I'm just saying I think this proves my point. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our eighth quick story. All right, I thought this was funny. Nicki Manaj says, if I send you a picture of Shannon Sharpe, you ain't that sharp. And she says, hey, N-word, you thought I forgot the Nicki who comment? Laugh out loud, just joking. Ocha Cinco almost caught a stray just by being your crazy tail self. Anyways, somebody had said something once about Nicki Minaj, and Shannon Sharpe was like, Nicki, who? I'm not necessarily putting this in here for Nicki making a joke about Shannon Sharpe. I'm more putting this in here because I haven't heard anybody talk about Shannon Sharpe in a little while. Now, you can look at this two ways, and just as a reminder, remember Shannon Sharpe has a $50 million civil case against him from a Jane Doe, and similar to like a Diddy case brought by Tony Busby. And like I said, nobody has talked about Shannon Sharpe in a little while. You could look at that one or two ways. People have forgotten about it. People have moved on. There's a Diddy trial. He wants to stay quiet. Then he's going to get back on ESPN. Remember, he said at the start of the NFL year or preseason, and then he'll ramp back up. He still has his podcast. Or you could look at it in a negative way. Nobody's talking about him, meaning that his podcast isn't getting the views that it used to get, and he's kind of fallen far from grace, and nobody wants to go on Club Shay Shay and do interviews, and he's just going to end up probably being dropped by ESPN because If you have no value, then you're not valuable. Y'all let me know what you think. If I was Shannon, I'd be a little afraid. That's all I'm saying. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. Our ninth quick story. All right, this is really funny. This could actually have been in social discussion, but somebody made this comment and it's going viral. I think the craziest ish I've ever done was sleep with my N-words earpods in my ear so Siri could read all his messages when they come through. For those who are not so tech savvy, when you have earpods and your iPhone is connected, the earpods know it's in your ear. If you get a text message that will come through, it will read to you. So if you want to know what your man or significant other is doing, just put his earpods in your ear. His phone, I'm pretty sure, has to be open for it to work. Anyways, people started dragging her in the comment section. Somebody said, the last time I opened my man's phone, I had to Google how to smile again. Nope, I ain't doing that. Another person says, now you're crying with earpods in your ear at 2 a.m. in the morning. I thought that was hilarious. Somebody says this is actually genius. Another person says, all you guys that are saying just leave, of course we about to leave. We just want to hear the messages first. Anyways, it was really funny. Like I said, I'm trying to make this show short so that you can consume everything throughout the day. So I'll leave it there. But like I said, I'm making this like a quick little social discussion. Do you think that's wrong? Do you think that you should look in your partner's phone, or should you just have trust? You know what I always say, if you get to a point in the relationship where you feel like you have to look, that's the bigger problem. It's not what somebody is doing, it's how they're making you feel. And if you feel like you need to look, that is the problem. That's what you need to work on, not looking and then finding nothing, or looking and finding something. But aside from the serious part, I think it's hilarious that somebody's sleeping with earbuds to hear their man's text messages. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our 10th quick story. Jeezy says he finally has found peace with Jeannie Ma following their messy split and custody battle. I am so happy to hear this. I haven't had time to watch the interview. This is an interview from the Breakfast Club. I am so happy to hear this. We have covered extensively their initial split, their divorce, the back and forth. Remember when she went to the house, he put all of her stuff in the garage. She had to call the police. Like, imagine having to go to your house where you lived and had a child with somebody, you were married with somebody, and to go get your stuff, you have to have a subpoena. You have to call the police. Like, it's just horrible. And they have a child together, you know, and a beautiful, beautiful child. So happy to hear they found peace and they're not arguing and they're both gone their separate ways. Like I said, I don't know the details, who has custody, if it's split or whatever, but the fact that there's peace is just beautiful. So shout out to Jeezy and Jeannie Ma. Our 11th quick story. All right, y'all, my heart is broken. I used to be in love with Ananda Lewis. Ananda Lewis, iconic MTV VJ and talk show host, is no longer here at age 52 years old after a battle with stage 4 breast cancer. Oh, yo, man, this is really sad. Everybody loved Ananda. Her sister made this post on Facebook and to let us know. And she said she is free. She's in heaven's arms. In 2020, Ananda Lewis revealed she had stage 3 breast cancer diagnosis with progress to stage 4, so she knew it was coming. She said, I decided to keep my tumor and try to work it out of my body in a different way. I wish I could go back. She later reflected, highlighting her previous comments about natural treatment. Oh, so sad, man. Rising to fame as a VJ in 1997, Lewis was once called the hip-hop generation's it girl, and she hosted her own show in 2001. She's survived by her son. Oh, Ananda, man. Really, 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 really sad. I had a cousin of mine. He's a Rastafarian, and he too was diagnosed, and he said he wanted to do it the natural way. I am not here to talk to anybody about their beliefs and what they should do. I just know through my own personal experience, sometimes when you try the natural way and you get to a point where there's no turning back, some people decide that they wish they would have not taken the natural way. So if you're hearing this and you know somebody, just tap them on the shoulder, do some research on Ananda and her path, just to try to get them to think twice maybe. At the end of the day, it's their decision to do what they want and support them, but use this as a lesson, all right? Shout out to Ananda Lewis. Our 12th quick story. New York City named the happiest city in the US, ranking 17th on the Global Happy City Index. I'm reading that to you from New York City, and I'm the happiest right now. Well, not the happiest ever, but I am very happy being in New York, so I can vouch for this. I wonder if I can find out quickly who is number one. Anyways, here we go. Globally, NYC came in 17 overall, trailing behind cities like Copenhagen, Denmark, number 1, Vancouver, Canada, number 11. Shout out to Canada. Paris, France, number 13. And the next happiest city in the US is Minneapolis. We have some viewers out there. Shout out to Minneapolis at number 30. All right, shout out to NYC. Yo, other than the rats, y'all have all the reason in the world to have that title. Shout out to NYC. For those of you who don't know, I was almost attacked by a rat on a live. I think it was yesterday at lunch, if you want to go and check it out. Our 13th quick story. Lab-grown salmon gets FDA approved, now being served at a Portland restaurant. The first time ever FDA has approved lab-grown fish. Wild Type, a company that develops cultivated fish, received a no-question letter from the FDA, making it the 4th company to get this kind of approval for lab-grown meat and seafood. Right now, their salmon is available at a Haitian restaurant in Portland, Oregon. Wild Type now joins Upside Foods and Grow Meat, which already have approval to sell lab-grown chicken in the U.S. Meanwhile, Mission Barns is on the waiting list to get approved for lab-grown pork fat. My question that I would like to know is that the lab-grown pork, chicken, and fish, does that fall under vegan or is it still meat? I don't know. I've always been intrigued with vegan and vegetarian and pescatarian and this and that or whatever. Is pescatarian a thing or is that a religion? I don't know. I'm tired, y'all. Somebody please answer in the comment section below. Lab-grown chicken, does that count as tofu and count as chicken, or does it count as non-meat? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings me to my favorite segment, comments of the day. All right, before I get to comments of the day, you know I have a very, very important question for you guys. We're going to get to it very quickly today. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are. If you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, go to my sponsor, aura.com/Trent Out Loud to get a free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're using a laptop, if you're using your phone, you definitely have paid for something online. Your products and your devices are at risk. So is a social security number, bank card, and all that. Or it can help you get any of your information that is online off for free. You guys have a free 14-day trial with the link below. Here is a QR code. Let me tell you a little bit more about it for those who don't know. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers who sell your data, and they do it without your consent, making billions selling it to marketers, scammers, or even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor to my family, friends, and out louders. Or it takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of sites and keeping it off. Or is an all-in-one digital security platform. For those of you who might be asking yourself, I already have a digital security tool. Why do I need another? Well, having any other digital security tool other than Aura is like having your front door locked, but keeping your back door open. Aura is the only all-in-one, 100% foolproof platform that exists, okay? With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is found on the dark web. They have real-time fraud alerts for your credit card and banking, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have 24-hour US-based customer support round the clock, and they are amazing customer service, I'm telling you. And if anything does go wrong, because nothing is 100%, even Aura is 99.999%, they also have a $5 million identity theft insurance protection. For the rare case that something does happen, the insurance kicks in. That is why Aura is 100% all around the best digital security platform that you can find. All right. Make sure you click on the link below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud. Here again, one more time, is a QR code. They are amazing. For those of you who don't or have never heard of Aura, they used to be the logo on the jersey for the Minneapolis Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's a picture of Ant Edwards. Here's a picture of Karl Anthony Towns when he used to play for Minnesota Timberwolves. They are huge. They are big, all right? Just showing you how big they are. You can trust them. I trust them. I use them. It's free for 14 days. They'll show you what they can do, remove your information. It's up to you after that if you want to continue. I suggest you do, but that's up to you and them. I got you 14 days free, all right? Now, let's go to the comments. First one is from Kim. Kim says, it's a reprieve to hear a clean reporter who's not using expletives and who's reporting actual facts. I love your commentary because you appear to be unbiased and wholesome in your delivery, unlike the majority of reporters who make me feel extremely uncomfortable with their salacious, verbal, descriptive expressions. Thank you so much. That is an amazing, beautiful comment. Thank you so much. I definitely try to be unbiased. Everything I do, every time I report a story, I try to stay in the middle and see both sides. I'm getting a lot of comments from my live reporting of the Diddy trial. So thank you so much for everybody. Obviously, we can't read all the comments, but I try to take ones that are popular that a lot of people are saying. Thank you so much for all of these comments. I am definitely working hard out here, running on fumes. All right. Next, we have Christy. Christy says, good to hear a neutral analysis. Thank you. And Janet says, he should not be put in jail, but needs rehabilitation. All right. I have been saying that daily on my commentary, not that he should not be put in jail, but that Diddy definitely has a lot of mental health issues. We definitely learned more about that yesterday with Jane's testimony. I would like to see Diddy do some time for the crimes that the prosecution can prove. But I think the bigger picture here is, and this, of course, is coming from mental health advocate, Diddy is deeply disturbed and has a lot of demons that he needs to work on. And I hope whether he is found guilty or not, that's up to the jury. But regardless, Diddy needs rehab. He definitely is addicted to DRUG and he needs a lot of therapy. He needs to get a lot of help. So that's just my 2 cents. But again, thank you so much, you guys, for all the positive feedback and noticing how unbiased and how honest I'm trying to report what's been going on. All right. That's why we came down here. So thank you very much for the comments. Please make sure to click on the link below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud. Thank you, Aura, for supporting the Out Louders and giving us these free 14 days. Here, once again, is the QR code. Take out your phone, camera, point it at the screen, follow the link. Let me know, email me, comment below. Let me know how happy you are with Aura and what things they found out for you. Everybody keeps commenting below on it, and I love hearing the stories. Send me emails, DMs, whatever. Shout out to Aura. Thank you guys for commenting. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. If your friend keeps choosing toxic relationship, when is it time to stop giving advice and back off? We have a couple of comments. People don't want advice. They just want to vent. They already know what and what not to do. I've just learned to listen to them. Somebody said, mind your business, even when they share theirs. Mind your business even when they share theirs, okay? Somebody says, keep choosing in brackets as if anybody always gets it right. So glad me and my friends grow with each other and understand that we'll make mistakes. I like that comment, it's really nice. Somebody says, I just mind my business. People are going to put up with what they put up with. Look, my opinion on this is somebody that keeps choosing toxic relationships, when is it time to start giving advice and back off? I don't think it's ever time to back off. If somebody is really a friend, you're going to try at all times to be there with them. I think this is really an important question because we're talking about a lot about Diddy for the past couple of weeks. And we have said, especially on this podcast, that both Cassie, Jane, and Diddy were both, or the separate relationships, but they're very toxic relationship. And toxicity comes from people who are in pain and people who are hurt. So I want to put this in social discussion because it's not so much oh, stop being and stop choosing the wrong guy or wrong girl. It's not so much about that. It's about talking to your friend about the bigger issue, and the bigger issue is them. It's not the people who they're picking, it's them, their damage. We talked about trauma bonding. We talked about, pain. We talked about things that you feel familiar with and things that feel normal to you. So if you talk to your friend about their trauma and their pain, that's a better way than, yo, girl, don't be with that guy. Yo, he's this. Or, yo, God, don't be with that girl. She's just after money, or she's just after this, or whatever, the common things. That's what people don't want to hear. Try to get them to do some reflecting on them. And then indirectly, while they work on them and love them, they're going to choose somebody who's going to love them properly and not choose a toxic relationship. That's what happens when you listen to somebody who is a podcaster that has extensive knowledge in the mental health area, man. Trust me, I have spent a lot of money and a lot of time, and I have a lot of friends in the mental health space. So trust me on this one. I know that I'm right. But, this is still the Trent Out Loud podcast, and everybody has a right to their own opinion. So comment on this in the comment section below. I'd love to know what you think. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Admittedly, this is a little bit of an awkward question, but I still wanted to know. Somebody wrote out and says, I guess we still don't have a song of the summer. Roommates, do you think that we have found a song for the summer yet, or are we still waiting for it to drop? Somebody says, Nokia is the song of the summer. Listen, while Nokia is a okay song, it's not the song of the summer. It came out in February. The video is already out. It's not the song of the summer. Sorry. Somebody says, Chef Boy. Somebody else said, Drake usually gives us something nice for the summer, but y'all are hating on him right now. Somebody else said, we can always bring back songs from 2016. Somebody says, thanks for commenting Dansa and tagging me. Soka to the world. Somebody says, not gonna lie, Sama is fire. Okay, how come, is somebody gonna answer the question? Somebody says, glow type. We love this for the summer. Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. What is going on, guys? Come on. Somebody says, baby girl, let me see you dance, let me see you twirl. It is actually really a catchy song. I don't know, though, if that could be the song of the summer. All right, here's what I was looking for. Somebody says, Honey Baby, 3 a.m., Crash, Flo Milli, Rodeo, and I don't know about any of those three. Sorry. No, I don't know. Somebody says Type by Glow. Type is pretty good, though. Could it be the song of the summer? I don't know. Anyways, I haven't heard one good answer here. So let me know a song of the summer that might be good. Or maybe like what that person says, what is a throwback that should come back if we don't have a song for the summer? Because we have to unanimously agree on a song for the summer. If we don't have one, a fresh one that's dropped, let's find one from back in the day and bring it to summer 2025. Let me know your throwback song that you want to bring back this summer in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, as I am recording this right now, Game 3 is underway. OKC is leading. I'm going to make a prediction. The game is almost a little bit tied. I feel like OKC is going to pull this one out. I wouldn't be surprised if Pacers do come back. It is their first game at home, but I'm still able to make a prediction. And I know Melo's going to tell me I have horrible predictions, and he is right. But I still think that OKC has learned. They have been leading all game. I feel like Pacers are going to make some runs, but OKC is probably going to pull it out. And I don't think that Pacers are going to take the lead in the series in OKC. They're going to go down. I just don't see it. They're too powerful. I still think OKC is going to win the chip this year. I can't ask you guys who you think is going to win. By the time this gets uploaded, the game will be over. And I'm probably going to be wrong. And Melo's going to be in the comment section being like, yo, don't listen to Trent's predictions. Yes, you can't tell me who you think is going to win, but let me know who you think is going to win the overall finals. Are you Team Pacers or Team OKC? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all, that is a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. Every time I say I'm trying to get through things fast, I still end up having close to an hour episode. I just love y'all, man. What can I say? And I love talking. What else? What else do I have to say? We're going to be here in New York for the next 3 weeks, almost, maybe 4 weeks, covering the Diddy trial. We will keep bringing you daily podcasts. They're not going to be put out at 7, 8 o'clock. By the time it wraps and I do my live, it's 6:30. So by the time I get back to recording and putting up, just be prepared for them to your daily podcast to show up at around 10, 11 o'clock. That's just really what it's going to be. But I will continue to keep doing them. People who only listen to the podcast, please try to go over to YouTube and listen to the lives. It's really good. It's a different coverage. It's not recorded. It is live. It is really dope. Check it out. You'll see me live on the street in front of the courthouse. It's a vibe. All right. So thank you for all the support. And of course, those who are listening to it, thank you for the support, the comments, and the super chats. I appreciate y'all. All right. Also, shout out to Aura. Aura is also sponsoring the lives now, and they sponsor the comment section. So shout out to Aura. They hit me up today. They're like, yo, you're doing a great job. Keep pushing, representing for the Out Louders and represent to us. So shout out to Aura. Also, one last time, here's a QR code. Follow that link. It's free, y'all. You can never go wrong with free 95. Free, sign up, test how it is. If you don't like it, you ain't got nothing to pay. You'll be fine, all right? Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud podcast. For my YouTubers, if you're ever going on a flight, or if you are ever going on a car ride and you do not have access to internet, have no fear. You never have to miss a show. We're available on all podcast platforms. You can download the show and take us with you, all right? Head on over to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to listening on podcast platforms, thank you so much for your downloads. Thank you so much for your support. We love y'all. However, we definitely want you to come over to YouTube and hang out with us. It's a vibe out here. We got lives, we got the recordings. Most importantly, our comment section is lit over here. We have people from all around the world. Come on over to YouTube and check us out, all right? Head on over to the YouTube site or app, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to do a few things. One, you need to subscribe. That gives you membership to the Out Loud family. 2, don't forget to hit the like button, get the algorithming. 3, the most important step, please leave me a comment. I do this podcast by myself. If you guys do not comment below, I'm literally talking to myself. All right, this is a conversation-based podcast, so I need your comments. For those of you who don't want to join in the discussion, I totally get that too. But at least leave me a comment. Hey, Trent, I'm listening from here. I love to know which city, which continent, where you are listening from. This is a global podcast, and I love to see how global we are. So please try to comment, especially where you're from. Lastly, if you're really enjoying the show, please share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because that definitely helps in growing the channel. And of course, we are trying to grow, so we appreciate your support and your help. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the podcast, I'm available on all social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm most active on Instagram. I post a lot of your comments in my stories, so check me out on IG. But I'm available on all of them. All right, Twitter, Snapchat, etc., TikTok, etc. We definitely, we have started a blog page. Most of you are following it already by now, my daily listeners. But just for those who have not, it is the handle is Out Loud Daily, because we out loud daily out here, yo. Out Loud Daily on Instagram. We will post stories throughout the day and after the podcast. It gives you a little glimpse of what we're going to be talking about when we do release the show. So for those who want some inside information, and also we get to post lengthier videos. We do not have to worry about copyright. We don't have to worry about sensitivity. We put out the whole video in its entirety. So follow us on Instagram, Out Loud Daily. For those of you who used to be following formerly Out Loud, you don't have to do anything. You are automatically now following Out Loud Daily. All right. Shout out to Alex for helping me come up with the new name. All right, y'all. I'm going to bed, man. I'm tired. I got to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I'll see you tomorrow for Thursday night, Friday's episode. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.